We're always looking for new ways to tackle our biggest health challenges, and sometimes the answer is hiding in the most unexpected places. Today, we're exploring one of nature's most potent defense mechanisms to ask a really wild question. Could the very thing that causes a painful sting also hold a weapon against cancer? We're going to dive into the fascinating science behind honeybee venom.
I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, right? But this is at the heart of some very serious, very real research. Could a compound perfected by millions of years of evolution actually be repurposed to fight some of the most aggressive forms of breast cancer? So, to understand why scientists are even looking in such an unusual place, we first have to talk about the problem they're trying to solve. Certain types of breast cancer, like what are known as triple negative and HER2 enriched, are just notoriously aggressive and can be incredibly difficult to treat. And to put that into perspective, our current treatments, especially chemotherapy, they save lives. They absolutely do. But they often come at a really high cost. You can think of them like a sledgehammer. They're powerful, but they cause a lot of collateral damage, leading to severe side effects because they struggle to tell the difference between a cancer cell and a healthy one. This is really the holy grail for modern cancer research, finding smarter, more targeted therapies. We're talking about treatments that can act like a sniper rifle, zeroing in on cancer cells while leaving healthy tissue alone. And that search has led researchers to a very, very unexpected candidate.
So what is this unexpected weapon? Well, it's the venom from the common European honeybee. Now, bee products have been used in traditional medicine for literally thousands of years, so it's not totally out of left field. But now, scientists are putting its properties under the microscope in the lab. And here's where they found something fascinating. Turns out, not all bee venom is created equal. They tested honeybee venom, and it was incredibly potent against breast cancer cells. But bumblebee venom? It had almost no effect at all. And the reason for that huge difference comes down to one powerful key ingredient. That key ingredient, the star of our show, is a peptide called melittin. It's the main component of honeybee venom. It's what makes the sting hurt so much. But as it turns out, it's also the source of its incredible cancer-fighting potential. So what exactly is this stuff? Well, melittin is a small protein, a peptide, that makes up about half the dry weight of honeybee venom. And its primary talent, its main job, is to poke holes in cell membranes, basically causing them to fall apart and die. Think of it like a molecular hole puncher. It's a pretty simple idea, really. It just physically destabilizes that protective outer wall of a cell, which leads to its destruction. It's a brute force attack, but it's remarkably effective. The real question is, can it be controlled? And this is where it gets really exciting. Because the data shows that melittin isn't just a wrecking ball, it's selective. Look at these numbers from the lab. It took more than double the concentration of melittin to kill healthy cells compared to what was needed to kill those super aggressive triple-negative breast cancer cells. That suggests it has some kind of built-in targeting system, which is huge. But the whole hole-punching thing, that's only half the story. The research uncovered a second, much more sophisticated way that melittin works. It doesn't just physically destroy the cells, it actually messes with their internal communication systems. Okay, here's how it works. Aggressive cancers are often fueled by these overactive receptors on their surface, like EGFR and HER2. You can think of them as the on switch for growth that's gotten stuck, telling the cell to just divide uncontrollably. What researchers found is that melittin can actually suppress these very signals. In other words, melittin isn't just attacking the fortress wall anymore, it's also jamming the enemy's command and control radio signals. By shutting down these key growth signals, it cuts off the orders that tell the cancer to be aggressive and multiply in the first place. It's a much smarter attack. So once you understand how something works on this deeper level, you can start to make it even better. Scientists aren't just using the venom as is, they're actually engineering it to be smarter, more potent, and more effective. And they're exploring two really clever paths forward. First, they've added a little molecular GPS tag to it, which helps the melittin find and lock on to cancer cells even more selectively. And second, they're using it as a tag team partner, combining it with existing chemotherapy drugs. And you have to see this data from a study in mice. When they used a chemo drug alone or melittin alone, they saw a decent reduction in tumor size. But when they put the two together, wow! The effect wasn't just added together, it was synergistic. The tumor was suppressed way more effectively.
This shows that Melitin can actually make our existing drugs work even better.
So let's zoom back out. What does all this mean for the future? Well, this research is part of a growing field called apitherapy, which is basically using bee products for medical purposes. And while it is still early days, the potential is pretty hard to ignore. All right, so let's tie it all together. We've seen that honeybee venom has this incredible little peptide called melitin. It seems to selectively target aggressive cancer cells, and it does so with a powerful 1-2 punch: physical destruction and signal jamming. And best of all, it shows amazing promise as a partner for our current treatments. Now, it is absolutely critical that we're clear about this. This is very promising, but it's very early stage science. These results are from labs and animal models. This is not a proven cure in humans, and this is definitely not a reason for anyone to go out and try self-treating with bee stings. Please, don't do that. But that said, the scientific optimism here is real. I think this quote from a 2022 review on the topic really captures the feeling perfectly. The research shows clear potential, and it's laying the groundwork for what could one day become a whole new class of cancer therapies. And this really just leaves us with a final, fascinating thought. From bee venom to plant toxins and compounds from deep in the ocean, nature is full of these incredibly powerful molecules. It really makes you wonder, what other unexpected cures are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to find them?